I'm Jeff. This is my Potter's Journal. For Rooster Hill Farm and Pottery, we're going to look into the farm side of the business today. Nursery, Christmas tree farm. We make a lot of wreaths. We need a lot of bows. If you're a homeowner and you want to put a bow on every rail of your log rail fence, on your quarter-mile driveway, or if you're a florist or another nursery, this is the way you might want to do it. Let's see what's going on in the studio today. Okay, and I use the number 40 ribbon. In 25-foot rolls. I get it by the case. Let me first show you just how fast this is. Now, I got this from Kelco. It's not called a Kelco bow machine in their catalog, but there are several. I've seen others. One called a Sherwood bow maker. They're fairly similar design, except it was blue. Okay, and this is the we've wrapped the first 6 loops, and this is the 7th, and it goes on with the wire. I did that very quickly. I've seen other people put another step in there, but and I'm saying, okay, look how quickly this takes. No time at all, but when you're doing several hundred, it does take time, especially the fluffing out part. And yeah, the bow ribbon, very expensive stuff. We're spoiled these days. Not only do we want a red ribbon, but it's got to be velvet or wire edged. Well, I just cheapened them a bit by making the loops a little smaller. I opened the clip with a 5-loop bow. That's one way to scale it down, or to make them the loops a little shorter. The machine is adjustable. And we found out that the bigger bow was overpowering the wreath. This is a Christmas tree farm, and we want the greens to be the star of the show. Okay, so, and this still is a very generous sized bow. It is adjustable. I will show quickly and explain how this went together. And then the real test is training somebody. We'll see if we can train somebody new to use it. Now, in slow motion, we bring that down there, fold it down, clip to hold it, 7-loop bow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the center one will be the 7th. We bring the wire U shape to bring it around there, bring that loop out for number 7, take the wire around, and ends even, pull tight towards you, and tight, meaning there is some space in there. It needs to be able to breathe. We don't want to choke it. A couple of quick wraps there on the wire, and cut it loose from the roll, and there you go. Now, I think the hard part, the longer part of the process, is the fluffing them out. And these can be stored away. They can be made in the fall or even the Christmas before and stored away like this. You don't want to fluff them out, though, until just before needed, because they can get wrinkled and crushed. Let's see if we can train somebody else to do this. And if you get an order for 200 wreaths and need that many bows, you would think that you could train a lady to make a bow. And a weaver on top of that. Let's see how this goes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so this is going to be a 5-loop bow.
And I need a wire. And I have to judge the middle. I think I do this first. Put the middle wire on. And this side has to be a little bit higher. And I think that's center. Or did I do this wrong? I should have put the bow. I don't know how this goes now. I got.
Okay, yeah. Now you pull the center. The 5th loop is the center for about here.
Oh, a spot there. Okay. And
then the wire that's closest to you, you'll wrap around and it'll grab the center loop.
Oh, okay.
It's what holds the center loop.
Oh,
Okay, you're doing better than the first bow.
Oh, God. I don't know. I think this is the third bow, and it's hard. Okay, then I pull it tight, right?
Well, when you get them both on the same side. Okay, you didn't pull it around there. Pull it around there. Okay, now bring it back to the side over here, and you'll bring both wires together. They'll need to be at the same length so that you can wire them on, and then you pull it tight. And about the size of a quarter. The ribbon won't be tight, but it'll bunch together and leave a space about the size of a quarter.
My one wire never goes in the right center.
And the other thing is you don't want to pull the bottom wire square when you're doing the wrapping, because then you just have to pull that square out of it. It'll already have a shape in it that'll be hard. So I think you got that.
It's not perfect.
We should have had the camera out when you did the second one, or the first one, and everything went wrong.
Yeah, well, I'll get better after the 25th one. Okay, then I twist it 3 times?
Well, yeah, that's what I say as an instructor, but
1, 2
and a half turns technically would be enough. And they need to be tight turns. If they're too loose, you won't have enough wire left to wrap it around the wreath.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I wasn't worried about that. Okay, then I got to cut it. The last time
And the first time you cut it off at the wrong angle. You cut it off as if you were left-handed as opposed to right-handed. And then by doing it this way too, design-wise, here's the wrong way. It points kind of out the other way. This will angle, yeah. With the open space in toward the center. There's a lot of design involved in a bow that you don't think about.
Then I turn this thing back.
Yep.
And slide it up.
And then you can just slide it off. Now, do you think you could puff it out, fluff it out?
Well,
start with the tail
first.
Start with the tail that's underneath.
Oh.
And it gets pulled down.
It doesn't want to go down.
And you know what? I'd have to pick it up to hold it. You have to hold the bow a certain way.
Okay, well.
And I'd have to pick one up and make one to do it.
And then you pull apart the sides.
And then, okay, I pull the top bow up. The one that's on the face. I pull it up and the inner one down. And this is a very cheap, not the cheapest, but this is only a 5-loop bow. On a 7-loop bow, it is a little more tricky that some people would just do it one way, but I have an advanced technique that makes them come out a little more even and balanced.
Well, the only thing I want to know is these usable?
Well, hold it up and smile. Hold it up to the camera and smile.
If usable, then I'll smile.
And hold it up close to your face and smile like you're trying to sell the idea. Well, I think we need to work on this a bit. Okay, now there's mine that's completely pulled out. And here's our new learners. So this is what you don't get from somebody who knows how to do it. But because I can now rework the one that was done wrong, I can tell you completely how to do it. You need to, okay, grab here and completely pull that down until you feel it pull in the wire. And the same thing over here. Grab onto it here and here and completely pull it down until you feel it pull in the wire. And when I do that, you can see the other parts of the bow move. And here too, grabbing these and pulling that up until you feel it pull in the wire. Now, whether we can see anything if we hold it sideways. Okay, pull until you feel it pull in the wire. We even feel the tail pull up. So, okay, best way to learn is from somebody who knows how to do it and somebody who doesn't. And then before you use one of these crazy things, just do it by hand. Come on now. How difficult is it? It's a bow. But this does, you know, make the measuring faster. We've got the thing to hold the spool up here. It feeds right through there. And okay, here is where it is adjustable for the loops. If we bring this out, we have a bigger loop. And if we bring it in, we make a smaller loop. So, and you can put an upright there to measure the middle part of it for putting the wire on, but doing it by eye works fine for me. And a clip to hold it for the start. This is the trick here. To wrap it, okay, this is angled a bit, so to take it off, you put that in and then out to wrap the bow. Okay, so this has been adjusted down to the smallest for loop size, and this is only a 3-loop bow. Going to the opposite extremes, adjusted all the way out the other side, and a 9-loop bow. I felt this is sometimes too much. And there are times when this is just right, or just what's needed for a certain job. The 5-loop bow, which I've done here, this is something you might want to do if you're trying to keep all your prices the same. If it's a Christmas tree farm and you're working out in the cold with money, so we've adjusted down to the 5-loop, the wire edge bow, so it could come out at the same price point as the velvet with the 7-loop. And this is what I prefer here. It's a generous size bow. It's not as big as it could be, but it's more than enough. It doesn't overpower the wreath. Now, I won't be making any pots till the new year. It's going to be wreaths. When people come to cut a tree, though, they do pick up a few pots. Mostly, I'll be making wreaths. I get about 5 to 10 wreaths per crate, depending on the size. I've done a few videos on making them and the door arch, but I want you to see a finished wreath. I've got stacks and stacks of them building up, waiting for the bows. Where is the bow lady? Because these are already on reserve for an order. Oh, here she is now. But that doesn't look like 100 bows.
Well, back your truck in and down my place, and you'll get your 100 bows.
Okay, very nice. Look at that.
Yeah, it was
Perfect.
fun.
Yeah, good.
For a change.
You can leave weaving art baskets behind and take up bow making.
No, I don't think so.